Hey YouTube, it's G here, and today we're going to make another Dub Techno Chord, but we're going to use TAL or TAL or TAL or however you pronounce it, Elek7ro to do it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to do it in a specific way. Now this plugin emulates a mono synthesizer. It also has a poly button here, and you can use it poly mode, but we're not going to use that. We're just going to be using one note to create this. Now I'm doing this because some of you may have hardware mono synths like the Etruria Mini Brute or Micro Brute, or maybe some sort of older move like some Fatty or a little Fatty or something like that, or you may have Eturia's Mini V or some other type of mono synth. This is a fun way of doing it because you get a different type of sound than you would just normally doing it with a poly synth. So let's start with a fresh one here. So first thing we're going to do is go up to our audio effects and put tuner on here, because this is going to be a big part of how we do this. So we're going to open this up, and so this is your basic interface. This is the basic default loadout that you can see here. So what we're going to try to do is tune this to a G minor with the three oscillators: oscillator 1, oscillator 2, and the sub oscillator, which generally is an octave to 2 octaves below your other two oscillators. And that really depends on the synth and whatnot, where the sub octave layer is. So we're going to turn this off so it's a saw wave. And when you do this, you want to start with your sub or lowest oscillator, depending on what you're doing. Because this is going to be your root note, because generally your sub oscillators can only be tuned maybe like one note, like one step or something like that, not necessarily all the steps in the octave, in a full octave range. So I always start with my sub oscillator first as my root note. So as you can see, it's already here on G, and it's a saw wave, which is what we want. So we're going to turn that down first, and we're going to bring up oscillator 1, which is also a G, but in a G minor chord, we need this to be an A sharp. So, or B minor, depending on the tuner you're using. It may do both, it may do one or the other. B minor and A sharp are generally considered the same note, but they're kind of not, and they kind of are. But for all intents and purposes, for what we're doing today, we want this to say B minor. So we're going to turn the sync off, so it doesn't make it true on the note. This will emulate more of an analog oscillator kind of sound, make your sound a little more rich and harmonically pleasing. So we're going to tune this to B minor. So we're just going to grab the semi knob here and start moving it up. As you can see down here, this is changing. All right. So now it's on B. It's too far. B minor, that's where we want it. All right. And it's about 5 cents off. Now you could use this fine tune knob or the sync to put it in line, but I don't want it in line. I'm going to leave it like that again, like I said, for more of a drift and more of a wider analog-y feeling sound. All right, now let's move on to oscillator 2. The next note we're going to need is a D. So this is at G. We're just going to tune this down so it's at the same octave as these guys. And then we're just going to pull this up until we get to D. Now you can go too fast with it, so it's good just to take your time. All right, and there we go. We are at a D. It's a little on, so we're going to pull this down just a little bit so it's a little off. So it's a little more like an analog synth, or true analog synthesizer, because non-digitally controlled analog oscillators tend to drift a little bit and not be pitch perfect. So with that done, we just bring all the oscillators up. And it kind of sounds like a chord, right? It's a little slightly out of tune, but that's okay. We kind of want that more gritty, dirty, out of tune kind of sound when you're using an analog synth. Next, we're going to come over here to the filter, and then we're going to want to change this to 18. This is a personal choice. You can leave it at 24, or you can put it at 18. I like 18 just because it's a little more lo-fi-ish. Then we're going to bring the cutoff all the way down. Bring the release down here. I may actually release about there. And then the sustain down, the tack down, put the decay about halfway. Then we're going to take this contour knob here, and this basically tells it how much the filter should use the filter envelope. And we're going to turn that all the way up. And there we go. Put a little bit of resonance on there, I think, for some spice. Not a lot, just a little bit, right? And then we just take my Dub Chord effects rack and boom. You have a G minor sounding dub chord. Now, if you produce a different note, like a C, D, G, F, whatever, just go Google whatever notes make up that chord and then just tune your oscillators accordingly. It's pretty simple, easy to do. TAL-Elek7ro is a free plugin, and I will provide a link in the description for you to check that out. Also, if you want to know how to make this Dub Chord effects rack, there's a video over here somewhere that shows you how to do that. And there will be also a download in the description of this rack. If you just want to download it and play with it yourself and make it better, make it worse, I don't know, I don't care. I'll do whatever you want. So that's basically it. So, thanks for watching. Make sure you comment and let me know what you thought of this. And maybe some other ways or sense that you think of that this can be done in. I've had requests to do stuff in Silent and Massive. I don't own those. I would love to own them. So if you want to donate to the channel, that will go towards me being able to purchase those and do tutorials on those synthesizers as well. I don't know where I'm looking. I'm not even looking at the camera. Anyways, so again, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Later.